Hi, Warrior. It's Travis in here, and welcome back to our adventures with the Hardcore Warrior.
Greetings.
Today we are in Tanaris, guys, and we will be leaving, though, because I found out that the Dark Moon Fair is up in Thunderbluff, so we are going to head over there. But before we do that, I want to go to Freewind Post first. And we are going to head over here to Camp Mahache in Fairless. I just want to get the flight point here. And there's also some wolves that we can slay that drop tender wolf meat. So I want to get a bunch of that so we can actually start making some tender wolf steaks. I looked into the Clamlet surprise quest. And supposedly getting this zesty clam meat as a self-found character is going to be a real pain because you need fishing for it. So that kind of sucks. Supposedly it comes from like shells that you fish up. So I'm not really going to go out of my way to get that finished. Maybe when we hit 60, I can look into that. Can use the auction house once we hit 60, right? But for now, we can't because we're self-found. So we're just not going to complete that quest for now. And I don't really mind that, we're missing out on levels by making tender wool steaks. It's not that big of a deal. This is the main food we want to use anyways. So as long as we can cook that, I'm fine. All right, here we are, guys. Now we just need to make sure that we don't fall off here. Okay, we're gonna miss that, so we'll just go this way. Hopefully we don't fall. Could you imagine dying like that? I'm a little worried here. Okay, here we go. Very scary, these TAUREN towns with their big elevators. All right, here we go. Off to Fairless. And we're going to farm some wolves. Maybe we'll pick up some quests. And then eventually I'm going to head over to... Yeah, head over here to the Dark Moon Fair. It's just right outside of Thunderbluff. 13 hours remaining, so I want to take advantage of that. There's a mob there. I believe it's a gnoll called the Sage, and it gives us a buff, a 10% damage buff. So that'll be pretty good to get. And there's also an NPC called Lara there, where we can purchase some heavy leather. And I actually need that for the next level of target dummy. So in a few engineering levels, we'll be able to, I think 185 will be able to unlock advanced target dummy. It's just a stronger target dummy that has more hit points. So when we get to like 50s to 60s, it'll survive a little bit longer than the regular target dummies, which does help quite a bit. Because the last thing we want is, our target dummy to just get one shot or two shot, and then the mob just is back chasing us. So we want to get as much heavy leather as we can get. I only got 3. I know we had skinning, but I kind of got rid of it at the little too early. I probably should have farmed a bit more heavy leather, so we would have had enough for advanced target dummy. But since Dark Moon Fair's up, we can go to that vendor, and hopefully there's a few heavy leathers there for us to purchase. And I hope you guys are doing well today. I'm doing pretty good. Happy that our character is still alive. At level 45. 15 more levels to go. I kind of consider 45 to be the halfway point to level 60. XP-wise. The last 15 levels here are going to take quite a while. Usually around like 3 hours a level. So we'll see how this goes. Pretty much in the second half, I guess you can call it now. But this is a pretty good half because, you know, we have our Whirlwind Axe and we will be getting our mounts soon. So it's a good time for a warrior especially. And then once I get the mount going, we'll try to catch up on mining. I've fallen a little bit behind on mining. Where we're at here. Yeah, only 159. Need to get that up a little bit. Because really, we only need advanced target dummy. That's the main thing we want to get is that. And then once we have a few of those, we're pretty safe. And I've heard that there's still DCs going on. So I'm a little worried about that. I don't know if it's connected with OnlyFangs or anything like that. I don't think it is. Because that guild is... I don't know, though. It's not as... I think maybe they're still raiding. I'm not too sure, but... I heard that a lot of people that were in the guild have kind of stopped playing hardcore, so I guess it's not as popular. So I'm kind of surprised that there would be anybody doing, you know, DDoS attacks. But yeah, there's only 4 layers now. If you guys remember back at the beginning of the server or beginning of this character, we had like 10 layers going at all times. So it has gone down in popularity quite a bit. People have moved on to new games. Most popular game I see people playing a lot right now is that Schedule 1 game. It's like a game that... Oh, wow, we got a buff. That's good.
Thank you.
Could use that. 26 stamina. It kind of imitates the Breaking Bad show. That's what Schedule 1 kind of reminds me of. All right, so we have to watch out here. There's a Alliance camp over here that we don't want to get close to. Bunch of night elves over there. When I'm on Alliance characters, I usually always run into this town here, Camp Marache. Here we are in Feralus, guys. Supposedly there's some wolves like around here that we can fight, and they have a pretty good drop rate on wolf meat. So we'll try to farm a bunch of that. And then we'll have the 12 stam, 12 spirit food buff. We'll take that all the way to 60. I wonder how much food we'll need. Probably like 120. Be my guess. Maybe more than that. But it is going to be quite the grind. From 45 to 60. We'll probably be doing most of it outside of dungeons as well. We'll see. This is not a bad place for us to start questing. Everything is around our level here. And I heard something interesting from Nintendo. Supposedly they are going to charge $90 to play Breath of the Wild on the Switch 2. I think that's kind of ridiculous. Like, if you have Breath of the Wild on the Switch 1, you would hope that you would just get the game on the Switch 2. But I guess that's not going to be the case, since there's somewhat of an update to it. And the DLC does not come with it, so That's a tough buy for me. Since the game came out in, 2017 or 2018, I think. Charging that much for that game, I think, is a little bit ridiculous. So there we go. We got some red wolf meat. Is that what we want? We want tender wolf meat. And we actually got a blue, guys. Nice two-handed sword. 36.5 damage per second. 8 strength, 15 stam, 10 spirit. More damage per second, less top-end damage. So not too bad, but I wouldn't say it's better than our whirlwind axe, which has more strength. Nice two-handed sword, though. Not worth, it's not really worth it for us to switch specs and go into sword specialization and all that. So that's what we would have to do if we decided to switch from either an axe to a sword or a mace. We'd have to switch our specs and get one of the specializations. I think they're all the same. Pretty sure. So yeah, increases your damage dealt with two-handed melee weapons, axe spec. Yeah, just every time you level it up, it increases your crit by 1%. The mace one gives you a 1% chance to stun your target for 3 seconds with a mace. It's okay. And then sword spec gives you a 1% chance to get an extra attack on the same target for dealing damage with your sword. I think axe would be the best. The crit strike is pretty damn good. Second would probably be sword spec. The extra 5% chance to get an extra hit with your sword is pretty good, but I think axe spec is just better. Only time you would go sword spec over axe spec is if you were a human warrior. Because of the, racial where you get 5% extra hit with it. So here we are in Camp Marache. Let's talk to the Wind Rider here.
Where would you like to fly to?
And I want to just see what quests we have. Is there anything easy here? I guess the Gorduni Cobalt would be maybe easy to do. War on the Woodpaw. That's the Knoll one.
I just arrived.
I'm gonna pick these up.
And I've heard that the Gorduni ogres that inhabit the wilds here have some interesting minerals. Who knows what they are up to, but they sure are protective of that stuff. They don't leave it just lying around. No, they bury it to protect folks like me from getting their hands on it. If you'd be willing, I'll give you my shovel. Go to the Gorduni outpost north of here and dig me up some Gorduni cobalt. Look for the blue glow, then start digging.
Other quests we get. War on the Woodpaw would be pretty good. I think we're just going to farm wolves for now. They're all up here anyways. Just want to see if there's anything else that... Maybe the Ogres of Feralus would be a good one. Rock Orhan. Where the heck is that guy? Is he near us here? Where's that Rock Orhan guy? Supposedly right around here. I just can't see him.
Well met, peace friend.
Yeah, we'll just keep going. Not too, I think he's probably a patrol. Because I can't really see him here. I'll head over this way. What's a strange request all about? Yeti hides. We'll pick up War on the Woodpaw. That one can be kind of dangerous since a lot of them are grouped up.
How may I? We must ensure the survival of this camp at all costs, adventurer. Our enemies must not be given any quarter, for they would surely give us none were we to need it. The gnolls, they are more than a nuisance. They are a constant threat to the existence of this.
I wonder who this guy was chasing. Maybe
it is
a
irrelevant
alliance?
whether they are indigenous to Feralis or not. If we do not strengthen our resolve against them, we will find ourselves driven out of the entire region. The gnoll attacks against the camp have become more fevered as of late. We need your aid in thinning
A few
their
gnolls
numbers.
up here.
Bring to me 10 of their mains, and I will reward you handsomely for your effort. Go.
Alright, here we go. There should be some wolves up here. Around this area. Looks like it's mostly bears. I think we got an item to dig up the Gorduni Cobalt. Yeah, there's the long-tooth runners. So they supposedly have a pretty good drop rate. For the tender wolf meat. We'll see how it is. They said, according to WoW, it's one of the highest drop rates off of these mobs. We haven't got one yet, and we slayed 2. So this is an ogre camp up here. That's why I wanted to get the ogre quest. I thought that it would probably line up well here. There's also some gnolls over this way. We didn't get too lucky with the wolf meat here. So it said 100% on Wowhead. That's clearly a lie. Or maybe I'm just fighting the wrong wolves here. Let's get ourselves a food buff. We got some trappers here, which means they're hard to run away from. It's a good spot, though. Doesn't really seem to be too many grouped up. Should be able to finish this quest here. I don't usually quest in this zone. So it's a nice change of pace. Oh, okay. I'll have to watch out for them running away. I'll probably put a hand shrink up on them. Last thing I want to do is trap them, then they do that, and then they pull more. Gotta pull them away from that other one. Cured ham steak. Guess we'll eat that. It's awesome having execute. Helps quite a bit. Especially when they're running away like that. And we've been getting lucky with drops on this character. Last episode we got these Crush Ridge bindings. 113 armor, 5 strength, 11 stamina. And then today we got a nice two-handed sword that I sold it. But it's pretty good. Almost as good as our Whirlwind X. So hopefully that continues. We keep getting some nice blues. We need it. 20 gold away from our mount. And I seen an unfortunate death on Reddit recently that that looked sad. So there's games you can play in the Darkmoon Faire, right? And you get like, if you do well in the games, you get like tokens or a currency that you can spend for like gear and stuff like that. And there's a game where you get shot out of a cannon and then it gives you like a slow fall. And then there's like this little circle in a river that you have to land in. And if you land in it, you know, you win and you get a prize, right? So somebody did that in hardcore. And it's they're in Thunderbluff, they get shot out of a cannon. And there's this I'll show you guys here after we slay the snow. So you get launched from Thunderbluff all the way down to Bloodhoof Village, and they're right here in the river. There's a little like circle you have to land in. So what happened was this guy's slow fall buff. So what you want to do is you want to click slow fall off, so you land in the river. He didn't click it off, and he landed in Bloodhoof Village, and he just died fall damage, which was unfortunate. I don't know why you would even play that game in hardcore. But I guess he just tried it, right? He wanted to try it, he know it was going to happen. But yeah, that ended his character. So be careful playing the Darkmoon Faire games. We won't be playing any of them. It's kind of a risky pull here. Pull him back. Think about the brutes, they don't trap us. But they do have a lot of health. I think they hit a bit harder than the trappers. Trappers are the ones I'm kind of worried about the most. Yeah, there's so many unfortunate deaths in this game that are just, you know, knowledge-based deaths where, like, someone's just trying out something and then they lose, you know. It was a level 50 character, I think. Pretty sure it's a high-level character, so that's a tough loss. That's, I'd say 5 to 6 days of playtime. Over 100 hours just down the drain like that. Oh, trapper. Okay. Hopefully we'll be okay here. Surprised he hasn't trapped us yet. Sucks that we can't shoot him, but he can shoot us. There we go. That's why you gotta watch out for trappers. Put you in that net and then they run away. Just pull a huge pack. Only 3 more to go. Not getting much tender wolf meat though. That's why my main reason why I'm here. We got some trappers spawning behind us. Oh man! I think you run like a good towards anything. Oh, nice superior healing pot. That's good. Heals us for 700 to 900 health. Put that on our bars. It's worth putting a bleed up on these guys. An extra bleed just to make sure they die when they run away. Alright, 2 more to go. I'm looking forward to getting into the 50s. That'll be the last, stretch to 60 is usually the best. I just like the zones from 50 to 60. Tanaris isn't bad. I think Tanaris is probably my favorite zone from 40 to 50. And we got a March Chain of the Falcon, 6 Agi, 6 Intellect Neck. Solely sells for 250 on the auction house, but we'll vendor it for 47 silver. I don't think that's better than our neck. No, not even close. More damage, or get some crit from it, but I'd rather keep the 12 stam. Alright, there we go. We got all of our Knoll Paws now. So let's head back here. Maybe should we get the Gorduni Ogre quest done? The Gorduni Ore or whatever it's called. Can check it out. It's an ogre camp up here. It's a little scary. It's either we do that or I go wolf hunting. Try to get some tender wolf meat. Or, it's kind of... I want to get that ogre quest. This place is kind of brutal, man. There's a patrol there. Not too bad, though. Ogres run? I don't think they run when they get low. Here, we'll come back to this later. There's a wolf here. Snarler. This is a rare. Let's check this out. It's a good start. It's getting completely wrecked. Rares are usually not that tough compared to elites. What the heck is that? Runs away. Put a bleed up on him so he get him out of stealth if he does that again. There we go. Snarler down. We got the embossed plate helmet of stamina. 310 armor, 18 stam. I don't think that's better than our ice metal bar boot. 383 armor, 15 strength, 10 stam, 7 spirit, 10 frost resist. So it is what it is. We'll have to sell that. Probably might get a gold from that. Plate gear usually gives you pretty good vendor prices. And we got our first tender wolf meat, guys, so we'll be able to make some tender wolf steak from that. I'm trying to see how much we can sell this for. 39 silver. Not that much. Not bad, though. We'll take it. We've made at least a gold here from all the drops we've gotten. Maybe 2. Looks like these long-tooth runners don't really drop. The tender wolf meat that we want. Go around for a bit longer. If the drop rate just sucks, we'll just move on and head over to Thunder Bluff and the Darkmoon Fair. Just want to see if any of them drop it. No. Because if they don't, then I probably won't come back to farm it. The ones where I usually farm to get the meat is there's wolves in the hinterlands. Right up here in this area, there's like stealth wolves. And they usually have a pretty good drop rate on the wolf meat. So there we go. We just got 1. That's 2 in total there. Our first one from the runners. So they do drop it. That's good to see. We need quite a bit of it. We need like at least 120 meat, I think, to get us to level 60. Something around there. So we're looking at like, I don't know, I look at it as like 3 hours a level. 15 levels. We're looking at like 45 hours here. Maybe longer. But we'll head back and turn this in. And then we'll take a flight down to... Or up to Thunder Bluff. We'll check out the Darkmoon Fair. Where's our hearth at? I think it's Ogremar. I think we'll keep it there. Just in case that we want to get a buff, we can always hearth. Seems like there's no timer on a rend. So maybe we could get it. And supposedly that's the DC. Like that's what causes the DC sometimes.
Hail. Goodbye.
We drive them back and yet they still attack someone or something must be driving them into a frenzy. Oh, you have returned, Travisine. Do you have the means I require for the bounty to be met?
This is proof of a good start, adventurer. Your skills as a soldier are to be commended. You are not the only one I ask that task of. Many before you have fought them, and in times past our efforts have kept them at bay. Recently, though, their attempts to push northward into our area of influence have increased dramatically. Their attacks have also become more savage, almost as if they were desperate. I have a plan, though, adventurer, that might settle things once and for all against them.
All right, well, there we go. We got that quest done. We got like 2 tender wolf meats. It's not too great, but we'll make a couple of wolf steaks when we get to Thunderbluff. But we got a quest done, a couple of bars XP. And we got the flight point there, so that's good. If you ever want to come back to Feralist Quest, you don't have to do that long run from the Thousand Needles. And I was talking about the DC earlier, like why people are getting DC'd. Supposedly, people log in to get buffs, and supposedly there was like a bunch of people logging in at the same time, and it just sort of mimicked a DDoS attack, and that's why there was a DC like a server issue. So say there's like 4 layers up, and then a layer just gets flooded with logins because everyone's logging in to get the buff. And supposedly that caused a DC issue. Because they put it on Discord, right? There's timers for it, so people just log in. I hope we're not on for anything like that. I've gotten pretty lucky so far with DCs on this character. We've experienced one in Stranglethorn Vale, but we lived. So hopefully that continues for the next, I guess we'll round it up to 50 hours. 50 more hours will be 60. It's just the travel time. That's what takes up most of the time of leveling this game, is just traveling. That's why Warrior's such a slow class to level, because the longer it takes you to get your mount, the longer it takes to level up. Because you have to, run at 0% speed. Well, it's not 0% speed, but it pretty much is. You don't have any speed boost at all, other than when you charge. Right? Charge is like your speed boost as a warrior. And here we are back in Mulgore, guys, where it all began for this hardcore warrior many months ago. Little 1500 died in the Barrens. Yeah, you don't see as many deaths now, too. There's a 60 death here. Died to falling. It's a pretty common way to die. This guy died in Eastern Kingdoms. I don't know what the heck this guy's doing in Eastern Kingdoms. I mean, well, that makes sense. I thought he was the Eastern Plaguelance at 44. Kind of mix the two up there. I really like this zone, man. I'm happy that we leveled another Tauren. It's been a while since I played a Tauren. And the mage is getting close to 60. I'm looking forward to that. Mage is 56. So 4 more levels there. And I'm mostly spamming just Blackrock Depths, so it shouldn't take too long. Trying to do the Onyxia Attunement quest chain before we hit 60, so we can hop into Onyxia's lair. I don't know right away, but I'll try to get in as fast, like when we can, right? You don't really need to have the best gear to get into a Onyxia's lair run, right? All right, so here we are. Should I try to find that cannon? Maybe. But there's a cannon in Thunderbluff that shoots you out of it right now. It's near, I think it might be over here. All right, here we are in Thunderbluff, guys. I'm going to sell some junk while we're here. I don't know if there's anything else for us to do. The Red Wolf meat we don't need. Or that.
May the eternal sun shine.
77 gold. We're getting there. I think we can do a little bit of cooking in here. They usually have fires. It's either here or another spot. It's okay, though. We don't... Cool thing about Ogre is there's a bunch of fires everywhere, and you can just cook. Yeah, I like any fire. I'm not too sure where the cook is here. Here, we're just going to go to the Dark Moon Fair. Do you think I can make that? I'm not going to try. Think I can make that? Should I try? Oh, my heart was racing. Doing that. That's the thing about hardcore, right? Like these little elevator things kind of get you going. They scare the crap out of me. Just when I was talking about dying to falling. So right down here should be where the Dark Moon Fair is. There's a body right there, a soul fragment. Looks like someone fell. It ends in 12. So there it is, Dark Moon Fair. So we're going to be looking for Lara, guys. And also... Lara and Sage. I'll take a little screenshot here of... Maybe we should do a flex. Okay, here we are. Dark Moon Fair. It's got its own little music, too. Here's Sage. We'll talk to Sage a little after. There's Lara.
Every item that I have for sale, I acquired myself. You have my personal guarantee of authenticity.
See, so it's pretty cool vendor here. Enchanted leather, sells a bunch of good stuff. Life root if we needed that. And someone was already here and bought up all of the heavy leather. Some other self-found player. Oh my gosh. Why did I drop skinning early, man? Whatever. We'll just have to hope that these target... We just have to hope we get some heavy leather in the chest just so I can get at least one advanced target dummy. Alright, so here's Sage. I have long known that you'd seek me out, Travisine. Every sentient being in this world is driven by the choices they make. Choices beget further choices, and these in turn make someone who they are. This is where your fortune is drawn from, who you are, and the choices you make. Are you ready to discover where your fortune lies? Very well then. You have been tasked by your liege to guard his fields of corn from poachers and thieves. One night on patrol, you stumble across a haggard man in threadbare clothing, stealing corn from the field. You quickly confront him, and he immediately begs for his life. He claims he is stealing the corn to feed his family. Since the lord of the land, your liege, demands too much in taxes, your liege is indeed known for his harsh taxes throughout the land. Make your choice. So I'm pretty sure all of the first choices give you 10% damage. So I slay the man on the spot, as my liege would expect me to do, as he is nothing more than a thief and a liar. So you get a bunch of choices, and it all, like, leads to something else. I hope I picked the right thing. It's for the buff. Your next choice awaits. You are the sworn executioner for your liege. A man has been sent to you for execution. As a traitor of the liege and your people, you know this individual as a close, virtuous friend who mysteriously vanished one day. You also know that the man's crimes for which he has convicted supposedly caused the deaths of many innocent civilians. Upon seeing you, he begs for his life, claiming that he was framed by a higher authority. Make your choice. I execute him as per my liege's instruction, and I do it in such a manner that he suffers painfully before he dies as retribution for his crimes against my people. And there we go. So after that, we get the buff. This is the one I wanted. Sage's Dark Fortune of Damage. Increases damage by 10%. Probably the best damage buff in the game. And this is a very popular week for parsing. Because a lot of players, they pick up this buff and they go to raid and they do 10% more damage than they usually do. So usually players get their best parses during the Dark Moon Fair weekend. Or that week when Dark Moon Fair is out. And sometimes people try to extend it by getting it and saving it for the next week. And you can do that with the Chrono Boon, but back in the day Chrono Boon didn't exist, so people would get all their buffs like on the final day, like today, and then they wouldn't play their character till raid day next week, which would be like Tuesday or Wednesday or something like that. It's just that good of a buff. And we have it now, which is nice. We're going to use it to quest. And we'll probably head over to Tanaris. I think that's going to be the plan. I think we're done here. Yeah, I don't really have anything to put in the bank. And back at Gadgetstand, there's a bank there as well we can use. So it's too bad Lara didn't have the leather we wanted. Like somebody
on the back of a wind rider, one sees
somebody
that its
got it
reputation for strength
before
and speed
we
is
did,
well earned.
which is too bad. But that's how it goes. There was some earth root there, or the life root, I believe it's called, that we needed for the Whirlwind Axe quest. So that would have been good to pick up. I was kind of, if we had to wait that long to do Whirlwind Axe quest, that would have been a great vendor to go to. It would have saved us a little bit of time. Because I think we could have bought like 2 or 3 there. But somebody snagged all the heavy leather, so congrats to that person. Another self-found player, most likely. Or just somebody who grieves self-found players. Maybe somebody like that bought them all. Because there are some items there that you could buy and you could check and see if they sell for more on the auction house. Because if they do, you can just buy them off Lara and then put them up on the auction house to make a little bit of a profit. But usually Lara's prices are pretty high. Or any vendor. Usually vendor prices are usually higher than auction house prices. But yeah, this will be a good way to start our Tanaris journey. Tanaris is a little scary. So it's nice that we have a 10% damage buff for the first hour and a bit. A lot of quests to do there. And then the next level we should give us 46. I don't know if that'll get us into Zul'Farrak. Probably not. This guy's looking for a tank. I'm a little too low to be a tank. Too low of a level. These guys have like a 54 warrior in there. I'm surprised this guy doesn't tank. It seems like you have to be a high level to do Zul'Farrak, unless you're a healer. If you're a healer, then you could probably get in early like that druid at 45. But that 54 warrior there could tank Zul'Farrak easily. Maybe that's how long we'll have to wait to get into ZF is 50. Tank CF at 45? I don't know, man. I don't know. Think I can do it? Yeah, you have a 54 warrior. I don't mind going in there, but like I don't want to tank at level 45. He's never ran the dungeon? Well, he's going to pull threat off of me, so... Maybe, I don't know. He's down to just inexperience in this run. Should I or shouldn't I? I don't know. I didn't really want to do a dungeon yet. It's so weird that he doesn't want to tank it. There you go. He's the tank. Good. Yeah, just find a DPS, man. Take like that 47 rogue or that 50 rogue. That's what I would do. And then just have the warrior tank it. I'm also not a big fan of level 45 healer. You know, like, it's such a weird 45 healer, 45 tank. Like the anchor of the group are both the lowest. We'll wait. I think it's a good idea to just wait. And then once we're 50, we can, you know, jump into all these dungeons. I'm just gonna delist here. Like even Uldaman. Uldaman at 50 is pretty good for us. Uldaman's a scary dungeon. But there's a badass mace that drops from it. From the last boss. Alright guys, so we're back in Gadget Stand. We have a bunch of quests to do here. Probably pick up a few of these next episode. And we'll get to enjoy using this Sage's Dark Fortune of damage. But that is going to be the end of today's episode, guys. As always, thanks for watching. Keep your heads up. Later.